Hare Krishna. Continuing our discussion on the prayers of Prahlad Maharaj, let us now look at the origin of fear and understand what it is that we should be afraid of and what we should not be afraid of. So text 16 rather. Trastosmyaham krupanavatsaladhusogra samsara chakra kadanadgrasatam pranitaha Baddha swakarmabhirya ushatam te angrimulam Prito apavarga sharanam vayase kadanu Trastosmi, I am afflicted. Aham krupana vatsala dusogra. Aham, I am krupana vatsala. O Lord, you are merciful even to the fallen, the selfish, to the miserly. Dusogra, intolerable, fierce. Samsara chakra, this material existence. Kadanag, this is a very miserable condition. Grasatam pranitaha, grasatam, while being bound among other living beings. Pranitaha, I have been thrown into this. Baddha swakarmabhir, I have been bound here. Not only have I been thrown here, I am bound here. Swakarmabhir, by my own karma. Ushatam is, this is a hugely, it is an insurmountable material existence, and you, O Lord, are also insurmountable. Te angrimulam, ushattam te angrimulam. Angrimula is lotus feet. Prito apavarga sharanam, O Lord, Prito, please be pleased with me. Apavarga sharanam, you are the shelter of liberation. Vayase kadanu, Vayase, you'll call me kada anu, when indeed. So here Prahlad Maharaj is praying, my dear Lord, I am afflicted in material existence. Trastosmyam krupanavatsaladussogra. It is intolerable, it is fierce, it is ghastly, and I have been thrown into this by my own karma. And not only have I been thrown here, I am bound here. And there is no hope for me, my dear Lord. It is you who have to rescue me. It is you who can call me out of this material existence. When, O Lord, will you call me out? Avayase kadano. Trastosmi, I am afflicted, I am distressed. Bhakti is a relationship of inequality. It is a relationship of delightful inequality. Now, when we pray to Krishna, we focus on, when we pray to Krishna, Narasimha, any of the manifestations of the Lord, at that time we focus on our smallness and Krishna's greatness, and thus we seek His generousness, thus we invoke His generousness. When we are trying this way to invoke Krishna's, to seek Krishna's generosity, at that time, why should Krishna help us? After all, we have got ourselves into the mess that we are in. Swakarma bhir, by our own karma we are bound. But Krishna is apavarga sharanam. He is the bestower of liberation, and He is also the Krupana Vatsala. He is merciful even to the fallen. This is the beauty, the glory of Krishna, that He doesn't let us stay bound even when we deserve to be bound. That is the nature of love. Now, love offers to others that which they deserve, and it also offers them more than they deserve if they are just willing to reciprocate. They're just willing to reciprocate. Now, here the context is that if we look at it, to understand the context of this verse, to appreciate how love is being offered and reciprocated over here, through this expression of fear. The previous verse was Naham bibhemya jitate atibhayanakasya. Here Prahlad is speaking about how the form, O Lord, which you are glorifying, which you have manifested, is ferocious, and describes how your tongue is moving around like a deadly sword, Your ears are high up like a stern person. You are frowning, and your eyes are flaming like the celestial objects in the sky, and you are roaring, and your roaring is so scary that even elephants are running away in fear. So when all this is happening at that time, even the Devtas become fearful. Even Lakshmi Devi becomes fearful, thinking, I have not seen my Lord in such a situation. So therefore, what should I do, O Lord? So everybody is fearful of the Lord in such a ferocious mien. And at that time, what happens? Prahlad Maharaj says, I am not afraid of you, O Lord. I am not afraid of you. Sridhar Swami says in a beautiful prayer that the lioness is death personified, is extremely fearsome for a animal of prey, for a deer or someone, but for her own cow, she is the embodiment of love. Similarly, for those who love the Lord, even when He manifests in a ferocious form as Narasimha Dev, the Lord remains appealing. Lord looks appealing, looks lovable. That is the nature of Prahlad. So for Prahlad, he is not afraid of the Lord. In fact, he is garlanded the Lord, he is offering prayers to the Lord, and his heart is overflowing with devotion for the Lord. So he is totally devoted to the Lord in such a situation. So he says, I am not afraid of you. Unlike everyone else who seems to be afraid of you here, I am not afraid. Now does that mean that I am fully free from fear? He says, no, I am also afraid. I am afraid of this material existence. Trastausmyaham krupanavatsaladusaugra. Oh Lord, I am extremely afraid of this material existence. There is a saying, fools rush in where angels fear to tread. In this world, we often want to explore newer and newer things, thinking that these things will give us pleasure. That something new I want to explore. And the world always beckons us with new things, promising us pleasure in some other object that we have not yet experienced. However, no matter how many objects we experience, how many, say, TV programs we watch, how many websites we surf, how many new apps for titillation we get, how many books we read, whatever we do, we actually will not get pleasure. And the wisdom means to not be allured by the new, but to beware of the new, because actually there is nothing new in this world. Punah punascharita charvananam, as Prahlad Maharaj will say in a later prayer, that chewing the chewed again and again and again. Punah punash. So chewing the chewed again and again means that in this world, whatever pleasure is promised, essentially the pleasure within it boils down to eating, sleeping, mating and defending. And that is no pleasure at all. That is actually very meager pleasure. That is not a very satisfying pleasure. And so when we get caught, consumed by the obsession for that pleasure, then we are left pursuing again and again something new and getting nothing new. And the promises of pleasure of this world are something we should be afraid of. Trastosmi. Now if we see what Prahlad Maharaj describes, he is Krupanavatsaala Dussaugra. He is Samsara Chakra Kadanad Grasatam Pranitaha. And I am bound in material existence, O Lord, please rescue me from it. So now if we see, Prahlad Maharaj was in a fearful condition. It was not, of course, even if we say that he is not afraid of Narasimha Dev because he sees the love and care that Narasimha Dev is manifesting by appearing to deliver him, but still Prahlad Maharaj is in a fearful condition because he was subjected to multiple assassination attempts by the most powerful tyrant in the universe, who was his own father, turned against him. And suppose a person is on a death row, supposed to be executed, and then at the last moment somebody comes up and just before they are to be executed, that somebody comes in and saves them at that time. That was actually Prahlad's situation. Narasimha Hiranyakashipu was bent on killing him. At that time, Narasimha Dev appeared and saved him. So now in many movies there is the theme of the damsel in distress, and the knight in shining armor. The damsel in distress is about to be violated or violated or killed by some demon and by a villain, and just in the nick of time, a knight in shining armor comes. So now that is a theme which is often the primary point of this is male-female romance, but the underlying theme that attracts people is love, and that same love is demonstrated over here. That same theme of Prahlad Maharaj is not a damsel, but he is a child, he's in great distress, and Narasimha Dev is not wearing any armor. He doesn't need any armor, he doesn't need any arms also, but he has come to rescue Prahlad. And when he has come to rescue Prahlad, what happens at that time? He destroys the person who was going to destroy Prahlad, and after that, Prahlad Maharaj is now normally a person who is rescued. They're gushing with gratitude, and they say how terrible the condition of incarceration was, and how you have rescued me. That's the normal way. But Prahlad Maharaj doesn't even mention that, oh my lord, because of Hiranyakashipu's persecutions, I was in great trouble. Because of, they tried to put me in fire, they tried to pierce me with weapons, they tried to poison me. And in the whole prayers of Prahlad, not even once does he mention all the kind of tortures that Hiranyakashipu's stooges tried to subject him to, Hiranyakashipu's rogues, they tried to subject him to. It's amazing. He has just survived a horrendous experience, a series of assassination attempts, and then to his rescuer, he does not even once mention, oh, all this I went through. Because Prahlad Maharaj is seeing things from not just a relative material perspective, but from an absolute and spiritual, philosophical spiritual perspective. So in the relative material perspective, some things are materially comfortable, some things are materially uncomfortable. And when somebody rescues us from a materially uncomfortable and brings us to spiritually comfortable situation, we feel very grateful to them, and we tell, oh, how terrible the materially uncomfortable situation was. But Prahlad is saying that, is seeing from the spiritual perspective, and he knows that actually to be bound in material existence itself terrible. Whether we are in a comfortable situation materially or whether we are in an uncomfortable situation materially, being in material existence itself is a terrible condition. And therefore, while being in this terrible condition, if we turn, it really doesn't matter if I was in a very uncomfortable condition or was in a very comfortable condition. What is important is I have to come out of this vulnerable condition of material existence. And coming out of that vulnerable condition of material existence requires becoming liberated from material existence. And that can be done by the grace of the Lord. So he is not thanking the Lord for having rescued me. He is asking the Lord, oh my Lord, when will you rescue me? When will you call me to your lotus feet? When will you liberate me from material existence? And yes, when we have terrible problems at the material level, we can and should pray to Krishna for help. But we should know that the real help is not just relief from some problems within material existence. The real help is the relief and release from material existence itself. And Prahlad Maharaj is beseeching the Lord for that release. And again in his humility he is saying that, my dear Lord, I am not qualified for liberation, nor do I have the qualification of devotion. I am a Kripana, I am miserly, but still you are merciful, O Lord, and therefore Kripana Vatsala, please rescue me from material existence. Thank you. Hare Krishna.